you investigate and why?
So we chose Lobaws at 60 Carlton Street at Maple Leaf Gardens. We chose this grocery store because it is close to our university and people within our group shop there on the way home. It's a new location and it's a very large grocery store. So this location worked perfectly for our assignment because we wanted to target mass market supermarkets, and we believe that this chain spends a lot of money in strategically placing their produce products, and they offer a lot of variety when it comes to produce.
What supermarket aisle did you choose?
Good question. We chose the produce aisle for a couple of reasons. The most prevalent being that it's the most exposed to by chemicals when they're picking it or growing the produce. It's also the highest section or aisle in the store with the most yield of waste. And we also wanted to identify throughout the supermarket, and we identified the produce aisle in terms of which products are locally sourced and imported the most. And we thought that produce would be one of those.
Want to know what totally shocked me about the supermarket tour with regards to the produce department was that at least 95% organic content are allowed to be advertised as organic, whereas products that have less than 95% organic content but over 70% organic content must indicate the percentage on the actual product. What was also shocking was the high degree of pesticides used on produce, and that the government assumes to be present in much smaller doses than reality. Also, long-term exposure to chemicals can be stored in fat for many, many years. And how organic produce is kept separate from non-organic produce, specifically in this Lobaws.
You want to know what else actually shocked me? Was this list. This one right here, I don't buy it. I don't buy that apples are one of the dirtiest things. How can an apple be that infected with pesticides and something like a blackberry with all these holes isn't? I'd like to call this into question right now. Coming to you live from Ryerson, we got Trump and Hillary here to argue what they agree and disagree with the book.
She's Trump.
I don't know. He does his accent. I don't even know.
It's going off to a great start. So, do you want to start off?
Well, I'll definitely disagree with you.
Okay.
Okay. So I agree with the environmental effects caused by the industrialized agricultural sector. The food miles associated with produce from table to farm, from farm to table, and how there are high amounts of pesticides being used on our fruits and vegetables. It's true. Lots of pesticides on our stuff. And then our agricultural system is extremely complex. So finding exactly where you get your fruits and vegetables from is difficult. Do you agree?
Some of the things I disagree with, or we disagreed with, was that the problems listed in the text aren't as cut and dry as they make it seem. One of those being that I don't believe that GMOs are as bad as they represent them in the book.
GMO, bad.
The fact that I think it's it's a possible solution. It may not be the solution, but it's not as bad as it's represented. And then, yeah, I think we're done.
Do you think the information in the supermarket tour is biased?
This supermarket tour is extremely biased. The causes are multifactorial and not one-dimensional like suggested in the book. The book is very preachy too about, GMOs. And how it's caused by transnational corporations and by their products, functions, and processes. They don't talk about what life would be like without the transnational corporations. How would we deal with food security and the issues of growing population? It doesn't discuss society's role and how consumer purchasing decisions affect the agricultural chain supply. Very biased.
I just wanted to touch on another point that Maria said about the book and the bias that it has, is the fact that it preaches about a lot of problems that are happening in the world, but it doesn't present any solutions to these problems.
So, Maria, before we head over to the supermarket, what are you expecting?
Okay, so I'm totally expecting the organic produce to be separate from non-organic. I'm expecting, as soon as I walk into the grocery store, to get in-season fruits and vegetables. I'm expecting to find fruit before vegetables. I'm also expecting to find root produce such as like turnips, carrots, and sweet potatoes at the back of the produce department. I'm expecting fresh produce to be at the very front. I'm expecting vibrant colors and aroma of fresh fruit as I enter. I'm also expecting to find any fruits and vegetables that are submerged in water in the front, such as asparagus. I'm expecting at Lobaws for the fruits and vegetables to be traceable from farm to table. And I'm also expecting to find imported fruits and vegetables in the middle somewhere.
Here we go, into Lobaws. Where's all the produce?
Yeah, where's the produce?
First thing is the hot food.
The up-class Lobaws.
We got some sushi.
Those aren't fruits and veggies.
Deli section over here.
Oh,
We're getting into produce.
here we
Look
go.
at this fruit first. Wow, I never
Apples
thought.
aren't first.
I guess it's to go is quick. The reason you see this first is because it's to quick and go, and a lot of people are here to pick up food for lunch and stuff like that.
Oh, I spot the
Watch the color
apples.
of the floors. There's a juice and salad bar here.
So my views have changed drastically from before I started the supermarket tour. I now look at my fruits and vegetables differently. I look at how strategically placed they are in the store. I look at not being so picky with picking fruits that don't look so perfect. And those are my changes.
My views have changed because I've noticed that in the bagged apples there are lots of apples with little bruises and nicks on it that I wouldn't have usually bought if I bought them over there at the individual apple stop. But I realized that there's nothing wrong with these apples, even though they have these little marks. They're not any worse for me than the ones that are over there. And they're cheaper because they do have these little things on them. So I'll be more inclined to buy these next time.
As we discussed in class, the color orange makes people hungry, or it entices hunger. And so this section of the floor is orange. So it's where all the produce is, all the bread, cheese, the meat, and all the drier foods, frozen foods, dairy is orange on this side. So, or it's like a deeper red, kind of like different shades of orange. So it's just interesting to see how the color changes and how that might entice hunger.
My ignorance before the tour and some further research, I always thought the star system here, as you can see, was based off of the quality of the product. And as you can see from further research, it isn't actually a grade on quality, but that of nutritional value.
Alex, do you think this has any hormones or
No.
We really wanted to show everybody that there were some ugly fruits in the grocery stores, but unfortunately this store actually has no ugly fruits. All of these apples are perfect. None have any bruises or marks or anything. Everything is immaculate.
This fancy Lobaws store has really old lemons. Look at these old lemons.
Would you still buy them though?
that one's moldy right there? Look.
Look at them
There are
all.
ugly fruits.
So we did find ugly fruits.
Would you buy it?
Yes.
Probably not.
Oh no.
I probably wouldn't buy it because they're 2 for $3 and I want to make sure that my lemon is full of juice and not mold. Come on.
What are we getting today?
Sushi! On our way out. On our way out, we're gonna get sushi.
Look at all the options.
I know, right?
If only there was a sushi.
And
What?
Sorry.
Have there?
What?
For her small
Just wanted to touch on another point onto the bias. It's I don't think I should say that.
Yeah, you should.